You've seen the tragic images. Houses consumed by flames, lives lost, communities destroyed. It doesn't just happen to other people. As a homeowner, you must realize that the threat of wildfire is real. Minnesota alone has more than 2,000 fires a year. When wildfire tore through this pine tree grove in a Minnesota subdivision, it took 4 homes with it. In recent years, the rural landscape has changed, with urban development creeping deeper and deeper into forested areas. Consequently, more people build their dream homes nestled in the woods, not realizing that they may have placed themselves directly in the path of a wildfire. To address this growing problem, Minnesota has adopted the National FireWise program to help homeowners and communities be better prepared in the event of a wildfire. Fire is an inherent danger to having a home in the woods, but that doesn't mean you can't do something about it. In fact, you can do more than what you might think to protect your property and your home from the ravages of wildfire. First of all, it's up to you to be responsible for protecting your home from wildfire. As much as firefighters want to save every house, when there's a large fire, there may not be enough personnel and equipment to do the job. Conditions on your property could make it difficult or unsafe for firefighters to reach your home. A home that survives a wildfire is no accident. You can help firefighters avoid having to red flag and bypass your property because it cannot be saved. One of the most important things you can do is have a 30-foot safety zone around your house. This defensible space provides enough distance between your home and the wildfire to enable your home to survive without extensive effort from either you or the firefighters. This space can make the difference between saving and losing your house.
Mostly pines, the deciduous
Creating defensible space doesn't mean rebuilding, but preparations must begin long before there's smoke on the horizon. Coniferous trees should be pruned 6 to 10 feet up from the ground to keep fire from climbing into the crowns or tops of the trees. A crown fire in this area can be fatal for your house. Grass, leaves, branches, and other debris can provide a ladder for fire to climb. Eliminate this ladder fuel by removing brush beneath trees, trimming shrubs, and removing debris from under decks. Maintain this area of defensible space. Mow and water grass on a regular basis, and rake leaves, dead branches, and twigs. Clear a 10-foot space around propane tanks. Keep this space in gravel, rock, or short, well-watered grass. Store firewood away from the house and out of the defensible space area. Use fire-resistant plants in landscaping around the house. Hardwood trees and shrubs with rock mulch are preferable. They should be well-spaced, trimmed low, and cleared of dead vegetation underneath. Coniferous shrubs should be small and well-spaced. Trim all tree branches that hang over your house, especially near chimneys. Clear the roof and gutters of leaves, needles, and other debris. They can provide tinder for flying embers. The roof is the most vulnerable part of your home to wildfires. Flying embers from a wildfire a mile away can land on your roof. If your roof does ignite, chances are very good that the rest of your home will follow. To avoid this situation, treat wood shingles with a fire-resistant coating, or replace with Class A shingles. Install a spark arrestor on your chimney. Sparks from the chimney could ignite nearby trees. Enclose soffits and attic vents with a fine metal screening. Sparks or embers from a wildfire can enter the attic and set the house on fire. Consider metal, stucco, or brick siding materials when residing. Screen under decks, porches, foundations, or other openings to prevent accumulation of leaves and needles. Sparks or embers that land in these areas can also set the house on fire. Remember, any structures attached to your house, such as porches, decks, and fences, should be considered part of the house. If constructed from flammable materials, these structures can act as fuel bridges to carry fire from the woods to your house. Other buildings on your property, such as tool and storage sheds, also need to be given the same considerations as those given to your house, especially if they are inside the house's defensible space. Accessibility to your home starts with good signage. Emergency vehicles have to be able to find your house in order to help you. Your house should have visible numbers on it or fire numbers by your driveway. Numbers at least 4 inches high are recommended. Smoke and darkness can make it harder to find your address, so reflective materials should be used for the house numbers and street signs. Your driveway should be at least 12 feet wide, and overhead branches should be trimmed to a height of 14 feet to provide ample access for emergency vehicles. Residents of subdivisions with only one access point, including residents of homes in a cul-de-sac or at the end of a dead-end street, could have problems evacuating during a wildfire. If fire blocks the road, emergency equipment will not be able to reach these homes. If this is the situation where you live, you should contact your city officials and devise a plan for an emergency. One alternative may be creating an emergency fire exit road. Making sure your home is accessible to emergency vehicles is as important as any structural and property improvements you make. Oftentimes, when people buy prime wooded lots and proceed to build their dream homes, they don't realize that they'll have to maintain their forests. Without the necessary upkeep, their valuable property eventually turns into a hazard. Thinning your forest will help prevent this situation.
I think it's really important that you manage your wooded property because of the disease problem that you can get if one tree is diseased and it can go on to the next tree, or you could create a fire hazard. And I think the thing that was important for us is that the trees were getting so mature, they needed to be thinned out so that the strong ones could survive.
Thick, overgrown woods pose a major fire threat. They can ignite easily, and the resulting fire can spread quickly with intense flames. Crowded trees compete for nutrients, weakening their defenses against insects such as bark beetles. Bark beetles attack the weakened trees. Infested trees need to be removed as soon as possible to protect surrounding trees. Dead and dying trees have less moisture. They ignite and spread fire more quickly, fire that can spread to your home. Thinning can also stop crown fires that jump from one treetop to another, which can then ignite the house. In short, if you don't manage the trees on your property, nature will through insects, disease, and fire. Thinning your woods has other benefits as well. It gives the remaining trees and new growth room to grow. Thinning will also keep the value of your property intact. Neighbors should work together to coordinate thinning efforts in their community. If the area to be thinned is more than 10 acres, loggers will not charge for their services if the trees are of value to them. This neighborhood earned enough money from the trees the logger removed to pay for the final cleanup of their thinned area. Slash from the logged trees was chipped and sent to a wood-fired power plant to burn for energy. A tree service will need to be hired on sites less than 10 acres. Their services can be expensive. However, many companies are willing to work out a deal with neighborhoods. Creating a healthy forest today results in less maintenance tomorrow, and you can still keep the beauty and the feel of living in the woods without compromising the safety of your home.
My husband and I, we walk our dog every day, so we get a chance to come out here quite a bit to see what's going on in the back of the woods, and it's quite beautiful compared to what it used to be. There were quite a few dead trees about 3 years ago, and quite a few dying from the beetle infestation, and now it's just really pretty.
All these tasks to make your home and property safe from wildfire may seem daunting, but there is help. The owner of this property was the first recipient of a rebate from the Minnesota Firewise program to help defray cleanup costs. Wildfire swept through this central Minnesota community the year before, burning 2 homes, so Karen Kirschner well understood the threat.
And I just want to say that the FireWise program through the DNR is, it's really been a motivator for me. I knew I had a big situation here. It was out of hand, out of control, and I was overwhelmed. And then this thing called FireWise came along, and it just gave me that boost that I needed to help me find a way to correct the situation.
Because one unsafe house can put a whole neighborhood at risk, there must be involvement at a community level.
I'm Dave Schuler with the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources FireWise program, and we're going to talk a little bit about what FireWise is all about.
The FireWise program brings together residents, city planners, and officials, and the fire chief to identify neighborhoods at risk, develop plans to reduce those risks, and to take action. More communities are also enlisting high school students to help them become FireWise.
This project is perfect for students because it involves hands-on learning activity that high school students love, and also because it allows them to learn some of the skills that we would ordinarily want to teach them anyway in a high school geography course.
Using Geographic Information Systems, or GIS technology, students are taught how to locate high-risk neighborhoods. Students then take field trips to these neighborhoods and go door to door offering to do a FireWise assessment for each home. In addition to helping make their communities safer, the students learn how to use GIS to solve real-world problems.
I hope they take away the new skills that they've learned in terms of using the GPS and GIS technology. I hope they take away new ways of thinking like a geographer. And I hope they take away a feeling of benefiting their community, and I hope they take away a feeling that it was fun.
Other community responsibilities include improving road access to your neighborhood. If your neighborhood lacks a permanent water supply, work together to install alternative water sources, such as dry hydrants. This special hydrant connects to a water source such as a stream or a lake. During a fire truck hooks up to it and sucks water from a source that otherwise would not be available. The possibility of wildfire cannot be ignored. We can't prevent all fires, but we can prepare our neighborhoods to survive them with minimal damage.
Many people don't think that, well, it's just a wildfire and my structure, my garages, my whatever else I have on my property shouldn't be affected by it. But the reality is many of us have seen what's happened out west and in other areas of the country, what some of these large, uncontrolled wildfires can do to your properties and how destructive they really are. And so by educating all of our residents, we're certainly helping the community to prevent any future issues that might happen from them.
Fire safety is a shared responsibility. It involves everyone. We have to strike a balance between community development and fire protection, or our lives and property will remain vulnerable to wildfire. The ultimate goal is that your home will be able to protect itself because you've done the necessary work to make your home FireWise.